What's up, guys?
What up, y'all?
Welcome back. We have a really quick movie review. Netflix original, Breaking Bad film, very first one.
Yeah.
El Camino graphic.
The road. Or the way.
The way. Something like that. I don't remember.
Well, they're actually saying El Camino because of the car that he drives. But I guess.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that. I always thought that it was because he was going to Mexico. But yeah, now that I think about it, it's not that.
Are we spoiling this,
dude? No. Well, I think the first half we should probably.
Okay, good.
Yeah, let's do
what
that.
We were doing.
Yeah.
You see how we just. We just right there in the spot, guys.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Well, first of all, I should start off by saying that I've never seen Breaking Bad. I've never seen any seasons, or I've heard a lot about it, a lot of great things about it. Obviously, one of my favorite actors come out in it with Bryan Cranston. However, I've never gotten a chance to watch it just because there's so many seasons, and so I've kind of gotten a little like, that's time commitment right there, guys.
Yeah, and I have watched Breaking Bad. And I'm watching Better Call Saul as well, which is a spin-off series, which is really, really good too. It's slow. Better Call Saul.
Oh,
it's with the lawyer. Yeah, you're gonna watch Breaking Bad.
I'm gonna try to start it.
Okay, so I've watched Breaking Bad. I'm a super fan. I have a lot of friends that are super fans as well. And yeah, I mean, I was extremely excited about this film. There's a lot of buzz on it. So let me ask you first, now that you're like, you kind of don't know the world of Breaking Bad.
Right.
What are your overall thoughts?
So in the beginning of this movie, they give you kind of a rundown about what happened during the seasons. And that's when I told Ish, I'm like, dude, I've been sleeping on this because honestly, I got super excited.
Yeah, and that was like a 30-second rundown.
Yeah, it was like a 30, maybe a minute long montage of just like scenes throughout the whole seasons of Breaking Bad. And I was just like, what the heck, bro?
Yeah,
it was really
to be honest with you, I kind of wanted to stop it for you because I didn't want you to like be spoiled, because there's a lot of things that got spoiled in that little montage. But I think it kind of gave this film more flavor for you. So, you know what I mean?
It did. If I hadn't seen that, I don't think I would have been as invested as I was in the movie.
Yeah. And I'm glad that Netflix did that because it did remind me of a lot of like really important moments in Breaking Bad. Yeah, most definitely. Because it's like, how many hours? It's like 100 hours worth of viewing. Like it's a lot.
Well, that's the reason why I don't watch Game of Thrones, man, because there's so many seasons and I'm like on the late train. It would have to be like, okay, I'm going to prison and let me pop these. I have all the time in the world, and I don't. There's just so much stuff. But
it's so hard to catch up. I had to really push myself to watch Game of Thrones because it was such a big deal at that time.
Right.
And I'm glad I did the investment. It's just a lot of work. So.
Yeah, and I already have my own shows that I watch, and it's like I'm super invested in those, and so it's kind of hard. But I'm gonna try with Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
I highly suggest it.
So going to the movie though, without spoiling anything in the first half, I really like the suspense that it gives you. It gives you a really sense of, wow, this guy just went through it. Like, wow, the stuff that they make him go through. This guy's a meth, he makes meth and they want him to make meth, and this is not spoilers, it's just something that comes out, right? But just the journey that it took for him to get to where he's at, and you could feel it. Honestly, the kid that plays the main guy, what's his name again? I forget. The main guy, Paul, Aaron Paul. Wow. His acting chops. There's little moments right there where I felt like he was just a little too Batman, Christian Bale, kind of like, oh, I'm Batman, you know what I mean? A little areas here and there. But overall, just the way that his body language and everything was really good. And so there was a lot of suspense. There was a lot of like, are you serious moments? And there's a lot of, moments where you feel a little angry, to be honest. But overall, right now, that's what I can say so far about the film.
Yeah. So overall, do you have like a score or anything like that you want to give it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll give it a score. I'll tell you right now, I didn't love it, only because I felt like it needed more. The suspense was there. However, the suspense sometimes I feel like it falls short of what what it gives you at the end of that suspense. You know, you're like waiting for it to happen, like, oh man, he has to do that, and then it falls short somewhat. And so there were some areas where that happened, and there were some areas that it didn't happen, that it was like, oh heck yeah, you know, you're like happy. But overall, I would definitely give this a 3.5 you know,
That's
a
fair.
3.5 meth whatever it is. 3.5 meths.
Meth crystals?
Meth crystals. I mean, hey, if Star Wars can do it, then why can't Breaking Bad, right? What about you, man?
So, me as a fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I appreciate the journey that this film took us on. Okay, as you can see in the film, not to spoil too much, but there's a lot of flashbacks to moments within the whole,
which I enjoyed so much,
the whole series, and I think you'll enjoy even more once you watch the whole series. And I think that's kind of implied that, you know, people that have invested a lot of time in Breaking Bad, they will get something out of it, and you definitely get stuff out of it. You get more backstory on certain things. I can't say that questions are answered, like mysteries and stuff like that. Maybe I don't remember right off the top of my head.
So that's a good question that I want to ask you. Was anything, as far as, because I know you've seen the series,
right?
And so is there anything that was new to you? Like, oh, okay, cool, I didn't know that happened after you watching the whole seasons of it.
Well, the whole part, well, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, there's some moments that did happen. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know there's certain moments and stuff. And, you know, they were satisfying, but I think that the journey that it took you on is really the highlight of the whole thing. This movie is like I don't know how many seasons does Breaking Bad have. I think I want to say 7, so I want to say this is like season 8 or whatever the last season is. This would be the last season. I think they compressed multiple episodes into one movie, and that's kind of the feeling you have. It stays true to Breaking Bad. The director is the same.
5 seasons.
5 seasons. Okay, so this is season 6, and you feel like it's very in line with everything. The characters coming back, like Badger and Skinny Pete, which is the two friends.
I love them.
Yeah,
I love them.
Amazing. Like I love the fact that. Sorry guys, my dog is like eating something.
That's our Duke.
Bad Duke.
He likes popcorn.
Yeah, freaking Duke. Anyway, so there's a lot of characters coming back, and you're gonna love that. It's just, I feel like I forgot how good they are and how great those characters were. So I appreciated that a lot. And yeah, overall, as a fan of Breaking Bad, I want to give it a solid 4. I feel like there could have been a little bit more action. You're right. Yeah. But the thing is that this is a Breaking Bad film, and anyone that knows how Breaking Bad is, it's usually a lot of tension with a lot of like hurdles. Like sometimes you don't get a resolution until like an episode or 2 later. You know,
and
that's
so I took
just
that in account.
The way the show is.
One thing I really appreciated about the film, now that we can
talk a little bit more. Yeah.
We took a little bit more about the spoiler. And this wouldn't be a spoiler, but I really appreciated when it did get to the point where they were shooting each other. There's a piece where they do the whole Old West kind of thing. You know, hey, that piece of the movie, it was like, it was so realistic, because that's exactly how it happens. Like they were at close vicinities, and in any other movie, you would like, oh, boom, 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 right away, right away, you shoot someone. But in this movie, like you could tell it took a while for them to like, they were super close to each other, and it still took a while for them to like hit each other. Yeah, it was really realistic. And so it was really realistic. I really appreciated that. I love when I can see something real, you know, and so that for me was really good. Yeah, Breaking Bad has that all over the place. So yeah, and one of my favorite parts, Jesse Plemons. Okay, Jesse Plemons. Yeah, so it's his character, and the whole scene of just showing how nonchalant the guy is. I love that character so much, and just the backstory on that. It was great. It was great to see it. Dude. It was great to see it. Yeah. So that was one of the highlights. And that's, again, it's slow. It's like a lot of tension. You don't know if this guy's going to flip on him, just shoot him.
You know, it's great, man. It was so good.
So that character that you're saying, Jesse
Yeah.
Plemons, that was one of the highlights of this movie for me, guys, and that's why I mean 3.5. I give it a 3.5. That's big. That's a lot to me. That's a really good score.
Most definitely.
And it has a lot to do with this guy throughout the whole movie, throughout the whole time that he was in there. Yeah, the sequences of him remembering his time when he was locked up or in a cage.
I love how they did
that. Jesse Plemons' character was very, very, very good. I was like, wow, he acted his butt off.
Yeah,
with
for
it,
sure.
So
Most definitely. One of the things last thing I wanted to say about the movie is the lack of Bryan Cranston. I love that they included him.
Right.
They had to include him. Like it was a must. But I wish he was sprinkled more throughout the film. I know they kind of resolved on that.
Like in memories, huh?
Yeah, a lot more memories, a lot more lessons being learned, or things that maybe having Jesse remember him and just thinking like, man, I knew that I was right about something. I should have pushed more. You know what I mean? Like he had those moments with the guy from Jesse, whatever his name is, and I feel like he reminded himself a lot of things. And I would have loved to have seen that with Bryan Cranston, with Walter White's character.
Yeah, guys. There's a lot of times when you watch this movie and you feel like, dude, why did you do that? Why didn't you kill that guy? You know what I mean? Yeah. And there's a couple of times, and it gets a little aggravating, especially because you want to see people get killed. You know what I mean? You're watching Breaking Bad. You want to see this guy, go off. And so that's kind of like why I give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Because of it.
It's understandable.
And this should be mentioned. One of the actors in the film today, rest in peace, Robert Forster. Yeah. He's come out in a lot of movies. He's come out. Yeah. The reason why I know him, he was in Jackie Brown. He was Jackie Brown's love interest in that movie, and he comes out in this movie Breaking Bad as one of the. It's kind of like a coyote kind of guy. You know
he's a coyote. Mm-hmm.
So
and it was crazy because when we were watching it. That's when you told me, and I was like, "What?"
And it just come out on the news that he passed away at 76.
And literally, I opened up my Instagram just to check something, and I saw that's his first thing I saw on Instagram. So I like the journey that they took us back down the road of Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to see Jesse Pinkman being Jesse Pinkman's storyline resolved the way it did, even with his girlfriend at the very end. That's there's so much context to that. I'm really glad that they did it the way they did, even like having her there, him and his imagination. That's just you would understand what it is. A lot of the fans will understand why that happened the way it did and how perfect that is.
Right.
But aside from that, I wish there was more things happening throughout the film. But I just kind of go back to it like it's a Breaking Bad film. It's got to be like that. So that's why I put it at a 4.
Yeah, and you know what? This guy lived. He was able to go to Alaska, and the way that it ends, it's just him starting a new life, basically. And so the movie in itself was really good. There was so many great moments in this movie, and I really appreciated it, and especially that we didn't have to go to the theater and watch it.
Yeah, most definitely. So go ahead and check it out, guys. It's streaming now on Netflix. I just want to say, Vince Gilligan, great job, man. That was like some
the two friends
directing.
that helped him too. The skinny guy or whatever,
Matt
and the dude
Jones
was great.
And, some other guy. That Charles, the skinny guy, Charles Baker. He is amazing, dude. Like I want to see more stuff, dude.
Yeah,
that was so good. Anyway.
Watch
it, stream it now.
Stay
Netflix.
movie minded. Let's go.